service and tell me that I'm wrong, and I'll tell you you're stupid. The flat earth supposed that can be disproved so easily that you'd have to be an idiot to believe in it. And I'm standing by what I said on Wednesday night. You know, you have to be stupid to believe in it. And anybody who heard my sermon on Wednesday night and still believes in it today on Sunday is...
And think to yourself, there's no place like home. There's no place like home.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
There's no place like space. There's no place like space. There's no place like space.
Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
If you can believe that. If you can believe that. Because we are Americans and the future belongs totally to us. Once more, we will launch intrepid souls blazing through the sky and soaring into the heavens. Once more, we will summon the American spirit to tame the next great American frontier. And once more, we will proudly lead humanity. And that's what it is. It's humanity. Beyond the earth and into those forbidden skies, but they will not be forbidden for long. And in December, I signed a historic directive that will return Americans to the moon for the first time since 1972. Well, if you can believe that. You can believe that. You can believe that. Believe that. You can believe that. You can believe that.
Will you call? Will you call?
can beat us on rocketry. Forbidden sky.
I get that a lot. But
NASA lied. We don't live on a spinning ball. Earth is flat.
Livy, what is the shape of the Earth?
Flat.
What?
Now I'm gonna tell you something.
My name is Tristan, and I'm in the second grade. And I asked my teacher to show me an experiment where water curves, and she couldn't do it because it doesn't curve, and water always finds its level. She just didn't talk to me anymore. All she did was walk away.
Keep up the good work, man, and stay flat, okay?
Okay, I'm a flat earther.
Hello. We are going to test out demonstrating the solar eclipse that I filmed, and I drove my truck down to Nebraska so I could be in the full shadow of it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, that's about where the shadow was, and I have an inflatable globe there. And I made my own little inflatable moon that I can hold up there, right? So we got that good, and then we got the sun right up there, so we can use that for our light source. All right, so let's do this. Let's recreate. Let's recreate that happening. There it comes. It looks a little wide. Yeah, it's a little wide. It covers the whole country. Let's try a little lower. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. No, kind of looks about the same size there. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's climb this ladder. Let's, I think we have to get higher up here so that we can, okay, we're at the very top of this ladder now. All right. We better zoom in. I can't quite see it very good. Maybe if I lift it up above my head? No? Okay, well, ask your science teacher about that, would you? I made a video the other day, and a lot of people ended up watching it, and a lot of them left their kind comments saying that I needed to do this to scale in order for it to work. And so guess what I did? I did it to scale. And while I'm talking about this for a second, I'm going to play the footage of this August 2017 solar eclipse that I took with my Nikon P900 from Nebraska. So this was obviously during totality, which lasted about 2 minutes and 30 seconds in Nebraska. I notice a lot of you are totally inadequate when it comes to science and how the scientific method is carried out and how observations are made and recorded in order to gain knowledge about something. You would rather turn it into a joke and laugh and call names, and these things do not teach us anything about the nature of the Earth or the nature of solar eclipses. Okay, here is a NASA animation of the shadow moving across the United States, or what they expect to happen or to have happened. And this is how NASA generally explains how the eclipse is happening and making a smaller shadow. Okay, here is the NASA footage from the International Space Station, and we're going to watch this while I tell you a couple things that are very important. We need to be examining evidence, not biases. Okay? Galileo may have had a telescope and discovered moons around Jupiter, but that does not mean that Galileo knows more than we know now in 2018 with the equipment and technology that we have access to. This is the EPIC satellite that NASA provides images of. Look at this shadow. How wide is that shadow? Is that shadow 70 miles wide? No. Okay, so watch this shadow because I'm going to show you what I recorded from the ground. So the totality lasted about 2.5 minutes, and here is the shadow. So there until there is 2.5 minutes. So it's a time-lapse recording, obviously. I'm going to play this a few times, and I want you to watch the crisp edges of this shadow. And remember that that shadow is 70 miles wide in reality. Now, 70 miles wide when we look at the globe is a very, very thin line. So the EPIC satellite is interesting, I'll just say. Okay, I'm up on the roof now. There's the ball. There's the camera. I'm not going too close to the edge. Okay, to get 27 feet, I had to add on a broomstick, and I had to go up to the very peak of the roof. And then I have to hold it up in the air as high as I can. So I have a camera recording down there. So here's what it looks like to scale, everybody. Is that what my shadow looks like that I recorded? You can decide that for yourself. Earth is flat. Don't be deceived like this. For higher quality videos, go subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Guess what? I'm Don Pettit, NASA astronaut. I'm an angry pig, and I stole the International Space Station. Space Station is a serious place. We're doing pig research. We have a regenerative life support system, which is a fancy way of saying serious research, scientific research, that we've got a research toilet that you use, and then a machine that goes chugga 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 chug, and then you go to the galley and you make yourself a cup of coffee. Serious research, scientific research, and that's exactly what you are thinking it is.
But water is such a precious resource up here that we also are cleaning up our urine and making it drinkable, and it's really not as bad as it sounds.
Better you than me.
We even recycle our urine.
Pig.
But before you cringe at the thought of drinking your leftover wash water and your leftover urine,
Chugga 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 chug.
This is the kind of engineering research that we're doing on Space Station. I want to do some physics demonstrations. Chugga 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 chug. Some eggs. And don't ask me how I got the eggs on Space Station. I've got a bungee spread across the hatchway. Serious research, scientific research. And this bungee is kind of like a slingshot. And I'm going to show the trajectory that Redbird is going to have when I fire him with this orbital slingshot. Launching Redbird into space. Well, hey, we're already into space. Chugga 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 chug. Whoa, look at that. Whoa, all the way down. Guess what? Chugga 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 chug. Chugga 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 chug. Chugga 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 chug. And if you understand the math, if you understand the physics, it will allow you to go out and get angry human where you're an astronaut and you can fly in space. Angry human playing games. This is all that's left of Pig after Pig got exploded. Chugga 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 chug. Chugga 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 chug. Chugga 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 chug.
Get thee hence, Satan. For it is written, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve.
My name is Emily, and my question is, how does it feel to know that you are floating in a piece of metal in an endless void?
Get thee hence, Satan.
We are collecting more than ever before in the history of the world. $1 million for that. So we're all very excited about getting $1 million. I mean, there are science questions that $1 million extra. The best place to answer them are away from Earth. Fall and 2 months from now, we will be balling. All of our astronauts were balling. $1 million. Balling, 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 balling. We are balling. Doing this is my calling. Flow is so appalling. My
Helium hydride, the first type of molecule to ever form in the universe, has been detected in space for the first time ever.
Helium hydride
has been detected in space for the first time ever.
The first type of molecule to ever form in the universe
has been detected in
for the first time ever.
1, entry burn has started. Side boosters are transonic. Side booster landing burn has started. Side booster landing legs have deployed. Landing zone. Side boosters have landed. Recovery operators move into procedure 11.100 LZ1 sections 4 and 5. Center core landing legs have deployed.
There's recovery. Center core has landed. Landing operators moving procedure 11.100 on ECF 9 net.
into all the world, and preach the gospel to every creature. He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved, but he that believeth not shall be damned. And these signs shall follow them that believe. In my name shall they cast out devils. They shall speak with new tongues. They shall take up serpents. And if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover.
So then after the Lord had spoken unto them, he was received up into heaven, and sat on the right hand of God. And they went forth, and preached everywhere, the Lord working with them, and confirming the word with signs following. Amen.
Hey guys, Bert here. I wanted to show you something that I was reading about. Very interesting. With everybody arguing the shape of the earth, I found something really interesting in the book of Isaiah. See guys, yep, it appears that this book has flat earth in it. Check this out guys, Isaiah 48 verse 3. I have declared the former things from the beginning, and they went forth out of my mouth. And I showed them. I did them suddenly, and they came to pass. Guys, this is talking about the 7-day creation of the earth. So, the former things, that's the creation. Then I found this other verse. It's in Isaiah 43, verse 9. It says, let all the nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled. Who among them can declare this, and show us former things? Let them bring forth their witnesses, that they may be justified, or let them hear and say, it is truth. Well guys, I'm Bert, and I'm checking out. Remember to thank God for everything he made.
Do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. There is one that accuseth you, even Moses, in whom ye trust. For had ye believed Moses, ye would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if ye believe not his writings, how shall ye believe my words?
And you come up to me after the service and tell me.
Station, this is your president. Do you hear me?
Hello, I'm Sunny Williams. I'm on a flat plane, so you have to have pretty good aim, and you be ready to make sure things get let go the right direction. On a flat plane, and it smells a little bit, so I'm closing it up. And that's, of course, for number 2. On a flat plane, we have gloves just because sometimes it does get messy. And then if things get really out of control, we have disinfectant wipes just to make sure we clean up here. Because, you know, just like the water on a flat plane, I showed you the number 1 stuff can sort of go all over the place if you don't aim correctly. And did I mention both of these have a little bit of suction, so they should keep things going in the right direction. But like I said, sometimes things get a little out of control if you are out of control yourself flying around. On a flat plane.
Do you hear me? Together we are.
On a flat plane.
All across America.
Water is such a precious resource up
on a flat plane
that we also are cleaning up our urine and making it drinkable. Drinkable.
Better you than me. Better you than me.
Oh, sir, it was awesome.
Drinkable.
The next day I install and experiment in drugs and how we can make those drugs.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event. Thank you.
T-minus 10.
10.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And as I was considering, behold, an he-goat came from the west on the face of the whole earth, and touched not the ground. And the goat had a notable horn between his eyes.
And we have ignition. The super drinkers have ignited and are pushing the Blue Dragon off the
Therefore the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken. Before it came up 4 notable ones toward the 4 winds of heaven.
The trunk is detached. Start deployed. Dragon is coupling as planned.
In this horn were eyes and a mouth speaking great things.
You'd made some money from the sale of PayPal. You decided to build a space company. Why on earth would someone do that?
For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God.
The goal of SpaceX is to try to advance rocket technology, and in particular to try to crack a problem that I think is vital for humanity to become a spacefaring civilization.
I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
Which is to have a rapidly and fully reusable rocket.
And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast.
What are the things that need to happen in order for the future to be an exciting and inspiring one? And I really think there's a fundamental difference if you sort of look into the future between a humanity that is a spacefaring civilization that's out there exploring the stars on multiple planets. And I think that's really exciting. And compared with one where we are forever confined to Earth until at some eventual extinction event.
Let no man deceive you by any means. For that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
But the big innovation is still ahead, and you're working on it now. Tell us about this.
It's important that the rocket stages be able to come back, to be able to return to the launch site and be ready to launch again within a matter of hours.
Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
Wow.
Yeah.
Reusable rocket.
Yes.
I guess paves the way for your dream to actually take, at some point, to take humanity to Mars at scale.
SpaceX or some combination of companies and governments need to make progress in the direction of making life multiplanetary, of establishing a base on another planet, on Mars being the only realistic option, and then building that base up until we're a true multi-planet species.
And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name, and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven.
In April 2016, SpaceX announced that they are planning to send a mission to Mars, potentially as soon as 2018. This mission, known as Red Dragon, would be privately funded, receive support and guidance from NASA.
And there appeared another wonder in heaven. And behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads.
Meet the Dragon 2, a capsule currently being developed by SpaceX as the successor to their original Dragon capsule, which has been supplying the International Space Station since 2012.
And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
How have you done this? These projects are so... These PayPal, SolarCity, Tesla, SpaceX, they're so spectacularly different. They're such ambitious projects at scale. How on earth has one person been able to innovate in this way? What is it about you? Almost no one can do that.
And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people.
Elon Musk, I wish we had all day, but thank you so much for coming today. Thank you.
And in those days the angels will gather together, and will throw themselves towards the east. Upon the Parthians and Medes they will stir up the kings, so that a disturbing spirit will come upon them, and they will drive them from their thrones. And they will come out like lions from their lairs, and like hungry wolves in the middle of their flocks. And they will go up and trample on the land of my chosen ones. And the land of my chosen ones will become before them a tramping ground and a beaten track. And in those days Sheol will open its mouth, and they will sink into it and their destruction. Sheol will swallow up the sinners in front of the faces of the chosen. And it came to pass after this, that I saw another host of chariots with men riding on them. And they came upon the wind from the east and from the west to the south.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, start, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond. Well, for
And the sound of the noise of their chariots was heard. And when this occurred, the holy ones observed it from heaven, and the pillars of the earth were shaken from their foundations, and the sound was heard from the ends of the earth to the ends of heaven throughout the day. And all will fall down and worship the Lord of spirits. And this is the end of the second parable.
if I spin this can, we know that according to the equations of motion, that we would expect that if once this is given a spin. Hi, Roger, Houston, Apollo 11. Calling in from about 130,000 miles out. And we'll zoom our camera in slowly, get the most magnification we can. Over. Roger. It's Big Mike Collins. And it is sort of down in a dark corner, so we have a flashlight here to help us see things. And if I can let go of it carefully, it'll just hold itself right where it is. Roger, as long as you disturb it, will. Apollo 11, Houston, that's a pretty good demonstration. You started out really stable there, Mike. It's, well, the problem is no matter how carefully you let go, you bump it just a tiny little bit, set it in motion, and once in motion, there she goes.
I bet you've seen pictures of the astronauts up in the space station, and they're floating around as if there's no gravity at all. And this is actually a really interesting misconception about what's going on with the astronauts. So it's not that they're weightless because they're in space and far away from the Earth. They're actually close enough to the Earth to feel the gravitational pull of the Earth itself. So what's going on? Why are they floating around? Well, this is what an orbit really is. We have to get spacecraft going very, very fast to put them into orbit. That's why we put them on rockets. Rockets launch spacecraft and get them going very, very fast. And if you're in orbit where the space station is, you're traveling at about 17,000 miles an hour. Now, what happens to those astronauts is that they're going very, very fast, but they're actually freely falling towards the Earth. The Earth has gravity, and that gravity is pulling them down, just the same as what would happen as if you dropped a ball. If you dropped a ball, it would fall to the floor. The same thing is happening to the astronauts. They are falling towards the surface of the Earth. They keep missing the Earth as they fall. And that's the definition of an orbit. That's what an orbit is. And that's why you need a rocket to get into orbit. You need to get yourself going so fast that as you fall back towards Earth, you keep missing it. So the astronauts are not weightless because there's no gravity in space. The astronauts are falling the same way a skydiver is falling freely through space. It's just that they're going so fast, they keep missing the Earth. They are all the time falling towards the Earth, going fast enough that they keep missing it. Everything that's in orbit around anything else is doing the same thing.
See things, and if I can let go of it carefully, it'll just hold itself right where it is.
Free fall to the moon. Spinning ball cartoon. I hope you guys get the point I'm trying to make. I see an inconsistency here. And it's a real one. When they are orbiting the Earth on Apollo 11 before they go to the moon, when they change their trajectory from that free fall orbit around the Earth, they have to go straight up towards the moon. So how do they free fall straight up? I have a lot better explanation, and I've been trying to explain it. I think of the Tower of Babel, and I think of Jasher 9. When they got to the top of the tower, they shot arrows and spears up at heaven to try to kill God. And what did God do? He sent the arrows down covered in blood to cause the wicked people into air. So I see that happening in 2019 right now in front of my face. I see idols being put up in God's tabernacle, in God's temple, and defiling it. And I'm trying to open your eyes. Okay, it's time for me to demonstrate a universal problem with spheres. They curve uniformly, meaning any point that you're on a sphere would be the top, and then as you look out to the distance, it should drop off, similar to what this board is doing that I made. And I did this to demonstrate something. Okay, off in the far there we have a sailboat, and then this pink styrofoam here is the same height as the mast on that sailboat. And then this is our third sailboat. It doesn't look like a sailboat, it looks like a board, but I made a little slot in there, and my iPhone actually slides right in there, just like that. And then I can slide the board. Now, the reason why I have these here is because I'll show you to have the camera height at it's close enough to the top of that styrofoam. So that other boat, obviously this boat cannot see the other boat till we sail up further, and then it starts to come up over the curvature, right? Okay? There's a reason why I want to show you that. Now here's the problem with spheres. If I measure, let me get my tape measure. From boat to boat, we have about 64 inches or so. 64 inches. So then let's take and go about the center of the two boats, and let's take our third boat and put it over here at 32 inches. Okay, and I can probably show you that. I don't know how if you'll be able to see it. Yeah, you won't be able to see it, but it's right at 32. Now, here's the problem. See the boat? See the boat? And those two boats can't see each other. I can see both those boats, they can't see each other. So, here's the problem. On a sphere, if you're equal distant from a point, like I am with these two boats, the amount of curvature, it would be the same up to that center point where the level is right now that we're looking at, where the bubble is. So we each have 32 inches from that. They can't see each other, but I can see them both. Now, the scale on this doesn't matter, because a sphere is a sphere is a sphere is a sphere. It doesn't matter.
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. How dare you pretend? How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. Live with the consequences. This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. How dare you pretend? How dare you? This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. How dare you pretend? How dare you? This is all wrong.